Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. If you are gearing up for the CELPIP exam and you're looking for that crucial edge to bump up your score, you are absolutely in the right place today. We are diving into a high-yield study hack that goes way beyond your standard boring memorization. We're going to explore why mastering a specific set of prefixes is essentially a cheat code. It's a cheat code to significantly boost not just your CELPIP score, but your overall Canadian cultural fluency too.
So let me ask you this. Want to double your vocabulary without having to memorize the entire dictionary? It sounds way too good to be true, right? But it's actually not. We so often think of prefixes as just this dry grammar rule, but strategically, they are a literal cheat code. By really understanding just a handful of prefixes, you can rapidly expand your vocabulary and, this is critical, you can actually guess the meaning of unknown words in the reading tasks. It is all about studying smarter, not harder.
Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is it? A prefix is simply a letter or a group of letters added to the very beginning of a word that completely changes its meaning. Think about adding un, dis, im, ir, or in to a word. Just by attaching 2 or 3 little letters to a root word you already know, you transform its entire function and meaning. It's just a highly efficient, super clever way to build up your linguistic toolkit.
To see exactly why this matters so much for your exam score, let's compare basic English with high-scoring CELPIP English. Instead of saying something is not accurate, using the precise, prefixed word inaccurate instantly elevates your answer. It takes your response from sounding like a beginner who's searching for words to sounding culturally fluent, completely professional, and totally ready for a top score.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover polite but powerful negatives, reversing actions in Canada, direction and cause words, and finally, how to pull this all together for boosting your CELPIP score. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, polite but powerful negatives. These are absolutely perfect for writing Task 1 and speaking Task 6.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how it ties into Canadian culture. In Canadian workplaces and social situations, directly insulting someone or sounding overly harsh is heavily frowned upon. So using negative prefixes is crucial for complaining or disagreeing politely. It gives your critique objective weight without you ever actually sounding rude. Think of these prefixes like a mathematical formula for polite disagreement. You take a prefix like I, in, or un, which all essentially just mean not, and attach it to a root word like responsible, efficient, or even. Suddenly you get irresponsible, inefficient, and uneven. These are 5-star, extremely high-value words for criticizing government services, policies, or personal mistakes on the exam.
Picture this. You're writing a complaint letter for writing Task 1. You want to sound mildly annoyed, for sure, but completely professional. You'd write something exactly like this. It was highly irresponsible of the delivery driver to leave my package in the rain without knocking. Notice how the word irresponsible acts as this highly effective objective critique. It is so much more powerful and culturally accurate than just saying the driver was not good.
Let's rapidly connect these negative words to some specific Canadian cultural quirks you're going to see on the test. Say you have a billing error. You don't say you are wrong, you say the bill is inaccurate. When offering a polite rebuttal in Speaking Task 7, you can call the opposing idea illogical. Canadians are famously patient in lines, so if you happen to lose your cool, apologize in Speaking Task 6 for being impatient. When that spring ice finally melts, you complain about uneven pavement and potholes. And in those reading sections about modern society, look out for the word illiterate used to describe seniors struggling with new self-serve grocery kiosks.
Moving right along to Section 2, reversing actions in Canada. We're looking at action, reversal, and removal prefixes. So these specific prefixes act as a reversal of an action, which, again, is highly relevant to Canadian daily life and specific sections of the test. Adding D to frost gives us defrost. Adding dis to able gives us disable. Adding un to earth gives us unearth. Actually, that last one, unearth, is a fantastic advanced replacement for the basic word discover. It is frequently used in Reading Part 4 science articles, particularly when they're discussing the discovery of indigenous history or maybe ancient artifacts in local parks.
I really want to highlight the extreme relevance of the word defrost, because if you live in Canada, you already know that the ultimate Canadian winter test happens every single morning. Clearing a windshield of thick ice is a daily winter necessity. You literally must run the car's defrost system before you can go anywhere safely.
And this brilliantly illustrates how you can use this cultural knowledge right on the exam. In Speaking Task 8, you're often asked to describe an abnormal situation or a visual scene.
Saying, "I can't drive right now because the car's defrost function is completely broken," fits that perfectly. It shows the evaluators that you have a firm grasp of both advanced vocabulary and everyday Canadian realities.
Let's quickly hit 3 more high-value reversal words. Disabled is absolutely crucial. Canada has excellent accessibility infrastructure, so you might need to explain that a main elevator is disabled for maintenance. Devalue is a perfect advanced argument word for writing task 2 when you're discussing real estate, like arguing that a new garbage dump will devalue neighborhood properties. Finally, disillusioned frequently pops up in expert interviews in listening part 6. You'll often hear it describing fresh graduates who feel disillusioned with a really tough job market.
All right, on to section 3, direction and cause words. We are mastering in, ex, and dis.
Listen, these prefixes are absolute gold mines for high scores. If you're writing about the benefits of a new policy, let's say flexible working hours, you could write that it will make us able to achieve a better work-life balance. I mean, that's fine, but it's basic. Look at how much more professional and academic it sounds when you just change it to, it will enable us to achieve a better work-life balance. The prefix N literally means cause to, and using it is a golden ticket to a higher writing score.
So the crucial point here is connecting these words to those high-stakes test moments. We just saw how enable elevates writing task 2. For speaking task 8, if you have to describe a stolen blue sedan, mentioning deep scratches on its exterior uses the X prefix perfectly. And for listening part 2, you've got to pay close attention to the words disembark or deplane. These aren't just fancy words for getting off a vehicle. This is the exact official terminology you're going to hear broadcast over the speakers on Air Canada, Via Rail, or BC Ferries.
Let's move to and see how this builds perfectly into section 4, boosting your CELPIP score. This is the cultural cheat code. 15. I really want to emphasize this number. Let's summarize the immediate practical value of the cultural cheat code you've just learned. You do not need to learn 1,000 new words today. Mastering just these 15 core prefixed words we've covered can dramatically shift your readiness for the exam. These specific words map directly onto the cultural scenarios and the task types that the CELPIP exam absolutely loves to test.
Now, to actually make this work for you, just follow this simple 3-step procedure. Step 1. Learn the meaning of the prefix itself, whether it means not, reverse, or cause to. Step 2. Use that knowledge as a tool to guess unknown root words when you're stuck in the reading sections. And Step 3. Actively replace your basic phrases with these advanced words in your writing and speaking sections. Remember, these prefixes aren't just vocabulary words to memorize. They are active, strategic tools for navigating the entire exam.
Which brings us to our final thought. You know the prefixes, you know the strategy behind them, but how are you actually going to use them in your next conversation? I want you to actively practice this new cheat code in your daily life. The very next time you want to complain about the weather or discuss a news article with a friend, try dropping in words like inefficient, uneven, or disillusioned. Solidify this learning now, way before test day, and watch your language proficiency soar. Thanks so much for joining this explainer and happy studying.